Excellency President William Ruto, all the other colleagues from government, officers uniformed and not uniformed, development partners, and Your Excellency, we even have civil society representatives here. And other than the National Police Service Commission, we also have two other independent commissions represented here. That is the SRC, Salaries and Remuneration Commission, and the Public Service Commission. All protocols observed. Your Excellency, we are very happy today because on 21st December 2023, actually 2022, within 100 days, as you had promised when you were seeking election as President of Kenya, you formed a task force to look at security sector reforms and improvement of terms and conditions of our men and women who serve in the security sector to protect our country from crime and from other threats. And Your Excellency, you did that, and the task force, which was headed by retired Chief Justice David Baraga, took a bit of time because we wanted them to do a thorough job. The terms of reference were extensive, quite expansive, and November last year, 2023, they presented their report to you. Subsequently, you directed us to immediately start the implementation of that process. And Your Excellency, we are happy to report that so far we've covered some ground because some of the recommendations are administrative and do not require even financial or other things. And therefore, your support today by gracing this occasion to formally now launch the implementation strategic program is very crucial to us, and we are very excited that you got time to come and speak to us. Your Excellency, we were here 2-3 weeks ago, and you directed us further to also look at some of the other things that are not captured already in the ongoing work, especially around the National Government Administration System, which is a significant and important link to the whole of government and whole of security sector delivery. We are working on those directives, mainly on working with the Inspector General of Police to make sure that the police support the work that the National Government Administration officers do out there in the protection of our country and in the maintenance of peace and harmonious coexistence of the citizens of Kenya. We are already underway with that directive, and we'll be briefing you. You also directed us, Your Excellency, to also include reform issues on GAO, to also modernize their training, their orientation, so that they can align with the entire framework of a modern, more efficient, and output, or a system that can help this country take the people to the next level. Your Excellency, I want to say two things before I invite you. The first one is that the task force, the recommendations are quite expansive, and they are going to cost the government of Kenya quite a bit, especially in these times when our fiscal space is not great. We are grateful so far through your leadership and directives. We have started off on some of even the more difficult issues like welfare issues, but also other issues like modernization of equipment, especially for the police. And we hope that going forward in the coming years, we will also be touching on the other services that are represented. So we are grateful. It's quite an expensive venture, but it is worth it. This country, for it to realize socio-economic development, For this country to move to the next level, we require stability, a secure environment for investors, local and foreign, and a society that is cohesive. For that reason, Your Excellency, we are grateful for the sacrifice you made and the leadership you provided. The second and last point which I want to make, Your Excellency, is to say that security anywhere in the world is a sensitive issue. It's not an easy matter to be able to put together all the competing issues and interests of the country and maintain security. And therefore, this whole of government coordinated approach is the solution and the pathway that will help us realize and balance all the competing interests that we need to balance to ensure that the reforms that we implement are reforms that are people-centered, anchored on our Constitution, and they are reforms that reflect the national interest in its collectivity. And I'm very proud today, Your Excellency, that Kenya, as one of the, if you look at our constitutional architecture for the security sector, as quite a very democratic security sector compared to even some of the older democracies. And I think it's the right thing that we chose under this constitution to have this kind of forward-looking and modern security, people-centered security infrastructure. I want to assure you, under your leadership, from where we sit with my colleagues, both my colleague CS JB Muturi and the other colleagues who are working with us in this enterprise, uniformed and uniformed, we will deliver a people-centered, participatory, open, transparent, and efficient security environment that will help this country realize its socio-economic and cultural objectives as underpinned in our Constitution. Your Excellencies, today is not my day. This is your day. I therefore want to request all colleagues to be upstanding as we invite His Excellency the President to address us. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Please, let's take our seats. Members of Cabinet present, Principal Secretaries,